Good morning. Group 1 are going to present you a workshop on plagiarism prepared by Tahani, Goran, Hafsa, Hamid, Naimer, Rafa, facilitator are Leila and Clarissa. The goals of this workshop are understanding the concept of plagiarism, encourage the learners for the originality and innovation in scientific research. We hope that on the end of this workshop, the learners will be able to recognize and categorize the types of plagiarism, correctly paraphrase with proper citation, explain the negative consequences of plagiarism in scientific research, list or describe the common rules against acts of plagiarism. Today, we focus on the first objective. The workshop will be done to the research beginners, 15 to 25 participants, and will be organized in 2 days. Our course contains a formative assessment, a summative assessment.
Plagiarism is a word originated from Latin expression, plagiate, which refers to kidnap. Hacker 2007 defined the plagiarism, and he said, use another author, intellectual property, language, visual, or ideas in your own writing without giving proper credit. You commit a kind of academic theft called plagiarism.
So one can actually wonder, why is it important to teach about plagiarism? Because for many of you, and even for research beginners, it might be a word which is quite common. We've more or less all heard about plagiarism, and there is a common, let's say, generalized understanding of what it's more or less supposed to be. However, although it's something very known and that people think they understand, it's something extremely widespread in the academic world. We see that some studies are showing that about 30% of students would be doing it in the written assessments and assignments. But as we said before, let's not put the fault only on the students. It's also widespread in the whole academic sphere. And according to some other studies, about 40% of the scientific misconduct would be done of plagiarism. So it's something which is both very present among the student bodies and the academic researchers. And as you've all heard, there were some scandals since sometimes. Here in French it's written when the scientists are cheating. And those scandals are actually pointing out at some very strong cases of plagiarism. And they have some, first, the consequences among the researchers. Some ideas of someone else have been stolen. But in general, for the community, for the scientist communities, there are some very important consequences because it's a total lack of accountability, traceability, and it's making a lack of trust among the public, among the civil society, looking at the scientist community as people which are supposed to be reliable, honest, and which we can trust into the research. So, and actually, plagiarism, that's why we consider it very important that we teach about this, is something which already have several types of plagiarism, as we're gonna show about it, but it's also something which, in the way it's done, is not similar to each other. Because sometimes it's gonna be something which is deliberate, and sometimes something people are not even aware about when they are doing plagiarism. And those things, it's actually shown by the fact, it's actually linked to the fact that people don't always know or have the skills, the knowledgeable skills, to know when they are doing plagiarism or not, and when and how not to plagiarize, meaning how to cite properly, to refer to the proper work. So, and here, as we see now, there are a lot of different tools in order to show to track the plagiarism issues. And here it's very interesting because rather than saying check whether it's been plagiarized, it's about improve your writing. So it's really showing that it's also strongly linked to a skill you must acquire about being able not to plagiarize, about improving your writing.
There are different types of plagiarism. Self-plagiarism or plagiarism of self. It means use the previous work for a separate assignment. Music plagiarism, it means lifting ideas, phrases, or even paragraphs from a variety of sources and joining them together without careful identification of their sources. Translation plagiarism, it means translate a thesis or a paper to another different language as it is your own. Plagiarism of works using the exact author's word as it is on without citing the author. Plagiarism of idea representing another's idea as it is on without giving the person a credit. The last type is illustration of plagiarism. It means that using a picture or a figure from any slide without referring the source. And now we will gonna show you a role play.
Hello, Kanani.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay, you?
I'm very happy.
Oh,
Yes, I'm complete. I finished my new paper.
that's great.
Can you see?
I think I saw it before. Oh, wait, there is a reference. Ah, this is yours. So that's
car
good.
is at 1:30.
You're citing your
10
reference.
to 10, 12. No, 1:30.
Have you paraphrase your previous work?
No, this is from all one. I have all the papers and work.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I think this spent a lot of time for me.
So you cited your previous work. Okay, good. Does it take much time? Actually, I'm doing a new
Oh,
paper.
I'm finished.
I need to upgrade quickly, but honestly, I saw some parts and paragraphs and made some adjustment, and I want Laura to check it for me. What is yours? Okay? Laura?
Hi,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I'm okay. You know that I have academic upgrading and I'm so busy. I have not much time. So I took some parts of my previous paper and I made few adjustments and I want you to check it for me.
Yes, sure.
Just a minute, my daughter calling me. Hi darling, how are you?
Interesting data. I have to go. I'm meeting.
I will check it for me.
You have some more work, like on the data, take some time, need improvement,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Yes, I have to go, I have a conference. So, dear audience, I'm really pleased today to show you some great data from which I have a very good idea, and I hope to be able to write very soon a very, very interesting paper on this. So, let me show you the data and explain to you my very innovative idea.
Good idea. It's a publication.
So in this, let's say a bit improvised role play, we wanted to illustrate different type of plagiarism and how plagiarism can be a chain actually, because some characters, as you've seen, they are both plagiarizing and being plagiarized.
Okay, hope that you all enjoyed the role play. And I'd like you all to use your clickers for 30 seconds, please, for the assessment number 1. Please answer question number 1. Which one of the following is an act of plagiarism? Paraphrasing, copy and paste, paraphrasing with citation, or A and B. Please use the clickers. You can use the clicker now. 30 seconds. 26, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's go to question number 2. Which one of the characters was playing self-plagiarism? Namir? Kahani? Rafat? Laurent? Which one of them was acting self-plagiarism?
So,
30 seconds, please.
1 second, please. Can you do it again? Now it's ready now.
Okay. You can start.
Now start.
Yeah, start. Three more to go. 3 more to go. 2. Only one.
Only one.
Please make sure that you click.
Someone. Okay, 27.
Yeah.
Now, after we watch the role play, I just want to share information with you. And let's discuss a bit about certain things. Anybody have an idea about paraphrasing? And in parent share, I'd like you all to think about what does paraphrasing mean. So could you please start? 30 seconds for each group. A very short explanation.
Changing by changing, receiving.
Paraphrasing, but not necessarily.
Restating your own words and using a citation. That's
Restating your own words.
sometimes restating in your own.
The question is here.
With the citation. Whatever.
The question is here, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Well, more often it means that.
Okay. I want a representative from each group to explain what does paraphrasing mean. Okay, let's start with the sister group.
So it's we're going to have the same idea, but not exactly the same 100% the same sentence. So we are going to have the same, just the same idea. We cannot use the same exactly the same sentence.
How about this group?
I think it's the same person change in his main phrases or statement in special research and re-put it in our.
Oh, you mean the same person? Same person gonna use the previous word and
Or maybe
the same text, or he gonna change?
he going to change.
Okay. How about this group? How about this group? Any representative?
And use synonyms or change that tense and say this is my idea.
Okay.
Citations could be plagiarism too.
Citation?
If you get, the 2/3 of the publication as a citations, at least it could be plagiarism. So citations is convenient.
How about paraphrasing? Do you have any idea of paraphrasing? What does that mean exactly? Yes.
Maybe I have for the word, just say something or add something and be
Okay, thank you. Very interesting comments from all groups. Thank you very much. But we'd like to highlight what does paraphrasing really mean. Paraphrasing means restating or expressing others' idea, but in my own words, and still have the responsibility to attribute this word to the original word. So it's not enough to just rephrase and reconstruct the sentence, but we have to mention the original site. So means that paraphrasing, I must highlight this issue, paraphrasing only. Is it plagiarism or not? Okay, let's talk about the other thing. About self-plagiarism. We know that plagiarism is a stealing of others' intellectual properties, right or not? Stealing of other intellectual properties. Okay, if I want to take part of my own previous work, okay, and put it in my next paper, okay, can I consider this as stealing of property? Because it's still my idea. It's my idea. So what do you think? Is it a plagiarism? Can we consider it as a plagiarism or not? It's a self. Yeah. So I want from each group to discuss among yourself, and then in 30 seconds.
Use your own idea. Reuse it which way? Recite the new paper for publication. Yes. That matters.
Okay, let's start.
Maybe self-plagiarism?
Self-plagiarism. Okay, but I'm still stuck on that point. I'm using my own idea. I'm not stealing anybody else. So
You're stealing yourself.
Same.
Same thing.
Yes.
What do you mean by same thing?
So I have to start myself. I have to take the permission from myself.
Okay. Yes.
I don't think it's stealing, because stealing means someone loses something. No one loses.
Okay.
But we need to at least to be sure that it's my idea from police.
There is any possibility that this work goes for the rights of the Jama'at, not for the one?
This is a very important point. This is the most important point. The copyright is still my idea. Ethically, maybe some people consider this as ethical because it's my idea. But still, we have to consider the copyrights of the journal, of the publisher. Okay? So we have to do the reassessment. I mean, we have to do the assessment again. Okay. For assessment 2, we go back to the question number 1. Question number 1, please use the clickers. Answer the question again, so that we can compare between the results before and after.
Please,
Are you
just do
we are
this.
running out of time.
Go ahead. Still
3 more to go?
3 more, please.
2.
Hold on, Jim's voting. He voted last time.
Okay.
It's done? Thank you. D.
Second question, please. Use your clickers.
Come on.
Now, so because we are running out of time, so we can't show you the change in the paragraph, but I think that is there, right?
just
Yes.
so basically, after we have prepared the final assessment that we would have done in the class, we were not planning to do it right now, but just to show you what we would have done in a real class. So it was like showing an original, because also in the summative assessment we were showing how to paraphrase, and so here we were in the final assessment we were showing an original text, and then some 3 different possibilities of paraphrasing to train the students not yet to be able themselves to paraphrase, but to recognize the correct paraphrasing, to understand the logic of the argument. And yes, some questions and a case study at the end about the different types of plagiarism. So here it was a case with 2 types of plagiarism, translation plagiarism and illustration plagiarism, which is indirect plagiarism. So that's it. And yeah, we wanted to finish a take-home message with a bit of French literature, so how we can read it.
Il faut être ignorant comme un maître d'école pour se flatter de dire une seule parole que personne ici bas n'ait pu dire avant vous.
Je ne sais pas.
It's poetry from the 19th century, and it's quite interesting because it's saying that you have to be stupid like a school teacher to be flattered, to be thinking that only one of your words may not have been said by anyone else before you. Thanks. So showing that.